Okay. Now, what's your take on this unconscious consciousness?
Unconscious consciousness.
Which means you have mastered that skill.
Yes.
And it's second nature now. And in becomes second nature, you're in that zone and you're in synchronity with it. And when you're in sync, man, the tsunami can't stop you with anything. That's the problem. What's your take on that?
So, with getting to an unconsciously conscious state where you are amazing at a number of things. Let's talk about a skill, a particular skill. Okay. Let's say driving. David, do you drive?
Very much so.
Okay. At one point in time, you did not know how to drive. Am I right?
Yep.
When you first started learning how to drive, okay, all those weeks ago, because you're very young and you just started learning.
I'm only 92, but at 16 years old at heart.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So when you first started learning how to drive, you would consciously, you'd have to think, okay, I have to put, what's first gear? I have to do this with my feet. I have to, etc. And you're trying to remember everything.
Yep.
Every single one of us has to go through these stages when we learn how to do anything. In fact, and then at one point it becomes so natural that we don't even think about it. It just happens. And I will give you an example that is relevant to everybody on this call. Once upon a time, you were unable to walk. You were unable to stand. You'd stand and then you'd wobble and you'd fall. You'd stand again, you'd wobble and you'd fall. And then you took your first step. And then you took your second, and you'd look around you and you'd be like, I want to walk like all these people. And you kept going and you fell a number of times until you could not just walk, you could run. You could travel the world, you could jump, you could do all sorts of things. Every single one of us. And now, if I told you to come to walk down the street or run or hop or whatever it is, so many of you, every one of you can do this without having to think about it consciously. It is unconscious competence.
Exactly.
Because you've done it so many times. And this is and I like that you bring this up, because we judge ourselves so much and we're so afraid of making mistakes that we don't try new things. But this is how we become amazing at anything.
Exactly.
David, you've seen, I've gone live every single day on my YouTube channel for 300 and whatever. It's about 335 days in a row, going live every single day. Why did I do it? Because I wanted to become great at naturally speaking. And so I forced myself to be uncomfortable, to make mistakes, so that I could now become unconsciously competent, just like you're talking about. So
and see, that mastery only comes when you have repeated practices, so it becomes into this unconscious state. But many 100%. People realize that. In today's in some of the scenarios today, most people are saying, okay, I want a shortcut to success. Now, you cannot get a shortcut to success unless you master the skill. And some people can master the skill very quickly. Some might take a bit longer. But that mastery is vital. It's not important. It's vital to step up.
It's vital. And making mistakes is vital. It's vital. Exactly. I've even done a couple of videos online where I started 2 days after I started learning how to juggle. And I said, look, I'm just learning how to juggle. And every single time I'd start, I was dropping the balls. And I'd have to bend over and pick it up, and bend over and pick it up, and bend over. And I was saying that, and I showed it live just because I wanted people to understand that this is the process of learning anything. You have to make those mistakes in order to become good at it. And here's a little bonus little show. Da, da, da. I
love it.
And I swear to you, you can go onto my YouTube channel and you see the first few times that I ever tried it, and I would drop the ball every single time. So yeah, this is how you begin. And am I thinking I can't? You can't juggle consciously. You can't say right hand to the right, left hand to the left. Your unconscious has to do it, and that's why it's a good exercise that I started.
And it's interesting, now, because there are a lot of people that are watching who are striving to be speakers and want to be authors and the rest. Now, the key element out of that is, the basic lesson is to master the skill such that it becomes second nature. That's the bottom line we're talking about. When it becomes second nature, we can then scale up to the next level and then master that skill for it to be second nature and keep moving up. And that's what excellence is all about. It is not a one-time quick jab and I'm successful tomorrow. Nay, it doesn't work that way. And my point that I'm striving is to bring people like you, bring people like Justice Bernstein, who was a blind judge, and showcase that to the public out there and say, hey, listen, if a blind man can turn around and put 25 cases a week, and if a person like Muneer can turn around and do these things, why can't the person who's out there do it? All it takes is practice, practice, practice to master it. Am I correct?
100%. 100%.
Thank you.